games can enhance even though the most monotonous task in a middle school classroom, such as learning vocabulary words or historical facts. Aside from being fun and engaging, games can also help students work together, especially when you add a competitive element. Today, we will focus on team-based competitive games that you can use in your own classroom. The first game we will talk about is Fishbowl, which is traditionally is a party game but can be adapted to a classroom. Fishbowl is played in 3 different rounds that will help students learn both vocabulary words as well as history facts and any other subject you want to adapt it to. Round 1 of Fishbowl is called Catchphrase, in which the students take turns grabbing a slip of paper from the bowl and describing that term using as many words necessary without actually giving away the word. The students have 1 minute to complete this round, and they must get as many as they can in 1 minute. Once all the words have been used in round 1, the words go back in the bowl and they begin round 2, which is charades. The students draw the words from the bowl and they are given 1 minute and 30 seconds to act out as many of those words as they can without using any sounds or words, just acting. After all the words have been acted out in charades, the students put the words back in the bowl and they begin round 3, which is called one-word synonym. In this round, the students will be given 30 seconds to draw as many words as they can and give one word that is alike without giving away the word in order for the other students to guess. As stated earlier, Fishbowl is beneficial for students to learn vocabulary words and terms in all different subjects in a fun and exciting way that doesn't even make it feel like learning. It is very easy to use too, as all it requires is paper and pens and just a bowl to put the words in. While there are a lot of pros, as stated earlier, such as students learning vocabulary words in a fun and exciting way, it is important to note that there also can be cons in this game that should be taken in account. Students may become competitive, and it may lead to being a sore loser as well as bullying, and that should be watched by the teacher.
Grudge Ball is another fun and competitive game you can play with your middle school students to review previously learned content. For this game, you will separate your students into 5 or 6 teams and create a column on the board for each team. You will draw 10 X's in each team's column. Each team will take turns answering a review question. If the team answers correctly, they can remove any 2 X's from the board, but not their own team's. One student on the team can also shoot a basketball into a hoop from a line on the floor. If the student makes the basket, the team can remove 2 additional X's. Even if the students do not make a basket, they can still remove the original 2 X's from the board. They can remove both X's from one team or split between 2 teams. The object of the game is to be the last team standing by knocking out all the other teams. In order to keep all the students engaged in the game, you can give teams that get knocked out a chance to re-enter the game. These teams can answer a question correctly and add 2 X's in their column. They can also shoot the basketball and earn an additional 2 X's. This game has many advantages. You can adapt it for reviewing content in any subject, even math. The game is also fairly easy to set up and play. You only need review questions, a whiteboard, and small basketball hoop and ball. This game also fosters interaction and cooperation among students. While the competitive nature of this game can motivate many students in your classroom, some may become upset if they feel that other teams are ganging up to knock their team out. As the teacher, you can avoid this by addressing these concerns with your students before you begin playing the game.
Quizlet Live is a game that is played on a computer. This game takes a Quizlet list that you have already made and turns it into a competitive quiz. The way students log in is similar to Kahoot, and the game then separates them into teams. Each team must work together in order to answer each question correctly. Quizlet Live heavily focuses on teamwork in a unique way. While each team member receives the same question, each screen shows a set of answers that differ from his or her teammates. Thus, this game requires students to actively work together to answer the question correctly. If they answer incorrectly, they lose all their points. There are several benefits to this game. One is that the game prevents cheating since each team always has a question that is different from the other teams. Another is that when a team answers a question incorrectly, the game makes the students wait for a short period of time and then shows them why they got the answer wrong. Yet another benefit is that Quizlet Live can show the questions that were frequently answered incorrect or questions that were confused with another question. This not only provides insight on which content areas the students struggle with, but also allows the teacher to go over the questions as a review. In other words, Quizlet Go helps both students and teachers. Good classroom management is essential for Quizlet Live. While competition can be good, students can take things too far. Another thing to watch for is students focusing on the scoreboard rather than answering the question. If you see this happening, remind your students that they'll answer quicker if they focus on the screen that is in front of them. Once you understand how to use Quizlet, using Quizlet Live is very straightforward. All teachers need to do is log into their Quizlet account, select a Quizlet list, and then activate Quizlet Live. Students can then log in and join the game by entering in a code that can always be seen. Teachers can also use the game free of charge. In conclusion, team-based games are great learning tools for the classroom. By playing team-based games, students can receive peer help while reviewing material that has already been covered. Team-based games also make the content engaging, exciting, and memorable. However, it is important to have a strong understanding of the students in your classroom as competitive team games require good classroom management.